week on the show, we have leadership coach and a career advisor, Yasar Ahmad. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for watching. This show is all about giving you insights and showcasing brands that help you to live your best life and give you confidence. As always, I want to kickstart your morning with some motivational advice to help you to feel inspired and energized to start your day. Today, I want to talk about the importance of taking actions on your goals before you feel ready. The reality is our brain will do everything to block us from taking action on anything unfamiliar in order to keep us safe and comfortable. Sometimes it can convince us that taking action is too much trouble and that we should stay where we are guaranteed to be safe. But the reality is, unless we break the cycle of thinking and take action even before we feel ready, then we continue to remain in the same place, hoping that the right time will eventually come. But the right time never comes around, and the longer we wait, the more we convince ourselves to procrastinate until we feel ready. Make your mission today to decide to take action on something you've been procrastinating on. No overthinking the outcome, just taking action. As the saying goes, don't wait. Sometimes later becomes never. Do it now.
Stay tuned. Coming up after the break.
And Yasar, you have helped over 1 million people get unstuck with the OVD Lab system. So tell us about what it is and how you help people get unstuck.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that success comes from performance. And so the OVD system is simple but powerful. It's first, you own your experience. Number two, you validate it in the eyes of decision makers. So make sure that they can see your experience, your successes, and then you deploy it where it creates maximum impact. So in the real world, what that actually means, instead of these fancy words I'm saying, is if you look at the most successful people in the world right now, there was a study done by Harvey Coleman, and he found that 10% of your success, once you get to a certain level, let's say director level, managerial, head level, 10% of your success is from your performance. That means 90% doesn't come from how technically good you are. Actually, what it means is 30% of that 90%, it comes from what people think of you. And the other 60% is exposure. So are you in the rooms or do people know of you? And so what I've done is designed a system where not only can you be successful, but you can also create the noise around it so the right people can see your work.
Wardrobe provided by Le Chateau.
Next up on the show, we have leadership coach and career advisor, Yasar Ahmad. Yasar, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing?
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. You are one of the world's leading HR specialists in the world. But before we get into all of your success, let's take it back to the beginning. How did you become a leadership coach?
Well, that's a good question. I don't want to say I fell into it, but I spent the last 17 years working in the corporate environment, for the last 15 years in leadership positions. And I've been watching brilliant people get overlooked for so long. And I realized the problem wasn't their talent, it was their visibility. So I made it my mission to fix that. And I ended up first coaching family members and friends, and then it just through referrals. And the next thing you know, I'm coaching CEOs of billion-dollar companies. And and then social media happened. So it's been a bit of a wild 10 months.
Absolutely. I know your videos go viral on social media. I actually found you through social media, so congratulations on all your work. And you help people get more confident at work by using psychological tips. So tell us about some of those tips and how psychology plays a part in leadership.
Yeah, I think I focus a lot on behavioral science. So behavioral science is a really good way of trying to understand the human mind. And sometimes we are at work thinking we're being rational, but actually amygdala takes over and we're the part of the brain that kind of doesn't think rationally. And my whole philosophy is around being in control of yourself, being aware that you are the dichotomy of control, as the Stoics call it, which is like, what can I control in the moment? What can I control? And afterwards, what can I control, in in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And by understanding that, you start to be a bit more reflective around your communication and just how you present yourself. So my leadership philosophy is very much around understanding, instead of trying to win a conversation, what would need to be true for you to agree with me. So it's a different approach.
Very nice. And you also help people get over imposter syndrome. I feel like that's something that so many of us deal with. I know I've dealt with that in my career as well. So tell us some tips and tricks to get over that, because it is something a lot of people go through.
Yeah, imposter syndrome isn't, firstly, you have to accept that imposter syndrome isn't a weakness. It's your brain's threat detection system misfiring. So, and once you understand that it's a misrepresented view, you can rewire it using like evidence-based techniques to turn self-doubt into strategic self-awareness. So, for example, a lot of us will compare our weaknesses to other people's strengths. And we're so consumed by being the main character in our stories that we often forget that other people don't see us the same way that we see ourselves. And actually our imposter syndrome is not even something to worry about, because most people are not even thinking about us. You make that mistake in front of 200 people, 99.9% of people won't even realize you made a mistake. You think that you can't lead someone. Most people don't even know that you have that fit. And so it's that misfiring you need to understand. And I think reframing your brain to accept that, okay, maybe, just maybe, I'm wrong here. And this imposter syndrome is just my natural biological threat detection system stopping me from doing something, but misunderstanding what it is. And I think that really helps people. And it's been very, very successful in reframing my mind, at least.
Absolutely. And you also help people become more respected at work, because, especially starting off in the corporate world, a lot of people become pushovers. So what advice would you have for people to stand out and be more respected with their colleagues and, bosses?
Yeah, I think for the most part, respect isn't demanded, it's architected. So through the language you use, the boundaries you set, and the strategic presence you have physically before you even walk into any room. And a lot of respect comes from someone who's able to take time to respond. If you are someone who is hasty or someone who panics when responding, people take that and use that as an advantage against you. What I find with respect is being aware of your efforts, not necessarily outcomes, and being relentless in your pursuit of self-respect. One of the biggest problems I've seen a lot of high-performing executives is that they often don't respect themselves enough. So when their boss says to them, hey, go do this, they'll go jump and do it. When their wife says to them, hey, can you take out the trash? They'll take out the trash. When their family members say, hey, can you drop us to the airport? They drop them to the airport. But when they say, hey, I've got this, or hey, I need to make sure that this decision is mine, they struggle. And that's comes from a self-respect. I respect myself, number one. I put my mask on first. So if someone is trying to stop that, because you're already in this state of self-respect, you'll recognize it immediately and you say, hey, actually, let's pause the conversation here. One of the best things you can just do if you're in a heated discussion is say, okay, I'm going to pause this, we'll revisit later. What's someone going to say to me? No, you have to speak. Well, I'm not ready to have this conversation. But you have to have this conversation. We need to go through it. You didn't do your job properly. I understand that, but clearly things are heated. I'd rather have this conversation when we're both calm. So there's lots of ways you can do it.
Yeah, I like that. It starts with self, right? When you respect yourself, then other people respect you. It doesn't start outwardly where people respect you and then you respect yourself, right? So it's all inward. It's an inward journey.
And you got to be, like I say, almost ruthless in your respect to yourself.
Absolutely. And Yasar, what are some traits of a high performer? What would you say they are?
Interesting. I was at an event yesterday with YouTube. There was a dinner and there was a lot of creators there. And there's a lady called Grace Andrews. She used to work with Stephen Bartlett at the Diary of the CEO. She's quite popular right now. And she said something that really stuck with me. And she said, consistency. Consistency and consistency. That's what's going to make you successful in the creator space. And I think there is a part there that's true. Although high performers don't just work harder, right? They're not just consistent. They operate with this kind of clarity on what moves the needle. They make their results visible to the right people, and they treat their reputation as a strategic asset. So I think there is this innate ability to just be very resourceful. There is having grit, just that kind of, I'll get things done. They make their results also visible. And that's one of the most successful traits, is someone who can actually display their successes to others so that they're known. Because if people don't know you're doing a good job, then how are you going to be successful?
Very true. Very true. I like that you said grit too, because I think that's such an important one. People don't understand the importance of grit, because that's really what's going to get you through tough times and to persevere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is, grit isn't like just grinding through 24 hours. It's not like a grind set mentality. Grit is the ability to say, let me iterate. Let me do version 1, and then I'll do version 2, and then version 3, version 4, version 5. Grit is the ability to look at a situation and say, okay, we failed, but that's content. That's not a failure. That's content. We've learned from that. What's the data saying? How can we turn this in a win for us? And that, to me, is what grit really stands for. The ability to look at things and say, okay, well, this was part of the plan. Like, we knew that there was a possibility this couldn't go right, so we're just going to keep on going.
Absolutely. And Yasar, you have helped over 1 million people get unstuck with the OVD Lab system. So tell us about what it is and how you help people get unstuck.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that success comes from performance. And so the OVD system is simple but powerful. It's first, you own your experience. Number 2, you validate it in the eyes of decision makers. So make sure that they can see your experience, your successes, and then you deploy it where it creates maximum impact. So in the real world, what that actually means, instead of these fancy words I'm saying, is if you look at the most successful people in the world right now, there was a study done by Harvey Coleman, and he found that 10% of your success, once you get to a certain level, let's say director level, managerial, head level, 10% of your success is from your performance. That means 90% doesn't come from how technically good you are. Actually, what it means is 30% of that 90%, it comes from what people think of you. And the other 60% is exposure. So are you in the rooms or do people know of you? And so what I've done is designed a system where not only can you be successful, but you can also create the noise around it so the right people can see your work. You can navigate the politics without your integrity being broken. And you can also have frameworks to get your points across in the corporate world, to allow yourself to be visible to the decision makers. It's been really successful. I think I might have to patent it at some point, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You should. And, you've helped employees at Amazon, Deloitte make better decisions and become better leaders. So tell us about that, and what can our viewers do today to become a better leader?
Yeah. So firstly, leadership isn't a title, right? It's a behavior. It's starting to solve problems nobody kind of asked you to solve, or communicate with like extreme clarity. And every stakeholder should feel like their success depends on having you in the room. That's like the ultimate goal of a leader. But actually, the core of a leader is clarity. See, clarity is one of the most important superpowers you need as a person to be successful. One, because if you're not clear in your communication, the other person might misunderstand you. And the second is you need to understand how to get clarity. If you're in a room full of people saying lots of different things, you need to be able to understand what is the right and wrong thing that's happening, what is the current support system that's required. And so for the viewers today, if you want to be a better leader, I'd say you should, it's almost like this parenting technique I use. It's called hug, help, heard. So if you're a parent, you'll resonate with this. Do you hug the person? Do you kind of give them compliments? Do you hear them out, listen to them, or do you help them? And so this technique, it can also apply in leadership, where you can ask the three W's: what's going right, what's not going right, what can I help you with? And those are the very simple grass level, root level conversation you can have. But beyond that, there's one other thing I would add, which is that as a leader, you should have a decision-making methodology. Most leaders, even yourself, me, we all make subconscious decisions when we're faced with, options. And so if you have a very simple decision-making framework in your day-to-day, you can be extremely successful, but also extremely efficient. And mine is very simple. I have 3 questions that kind of architect my decisions. The first is what I'm about to say yes to going to add more time or reduce time? So is it automated? Is it more efficient? Is it less efficient? Is it going to be long-term gains, short-term gains? Number 2, is it a decision I can reverse? Is there a two-way door? Do I have to live with this permanently? Is this something I could change my mind in a year, 2 months, 3 months? What is the repercussions if I change my mind? And then the third question I ask is it human shaped? Does it make sense for me? Like, yes, it's good, but does it really make sense? Is it ergonomic for me? And those are my decision-making questions, but everybody should have their own version of that. So no matter what you're faced with, you always hold your compass close to you and you can make the right decisions.
I think that's great advice. And, Yasar, I created my platform to inspire, to uplift, and to really showcase that anything is possible if you have a dream and determination. So what advice would you have for anyone that is, working hard, they're networking, they're doing all the right things, but they're not seeing their dreams manifest? What would you say to inspire and uplift them?
Yeah, I like what you said there. See, when you need to stop measuring progress by outcomes, because if you do that, you're looking short term, and you need to start measuring by actions, because like you said, someone wants to manifest their dreams. Dreams don't manifest from wishing. They manifest from systems, from action, from grit. And the people who win are simply the ones who refuse to quit before the compounding effect kicks in. And so essentially, if you look at me as someone who posts on social media, when I started, I said to myself, I'll do 1,000 videos before I quit. And so I gave myself such a large number that I knew that my laws of averages for a viral video would be maybe 150 videos. I think Mr. Beast said this. He said, you'll post 100 videos on YouTube before you get any views. So in my head, I was like, okay, well, 100 videos. Okay, let me post 1,000. And so by the time I got to my 97th video, that went viral and I got 20 million views and everything snowballed from there. So I think just having that grit, having that measurement of action versus outcome is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people quit before, the results come in, because they don't see, as you said, they don't see the results in their reality, and then they think it's done. But it takes a while, right? It's like a plant. It takes a while to grow. You don't see the results at first, but you know that it's growing, right? So you have to put in the work and persevere. So I think that's great advice. And Yasar, for any of our viewers that want to be coached by you and learn more about your work, where can they do so?
So you can find me on all the main social media platforms across LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, where I share daily strategies to help you win at work. You just need to search for my name, Yasar Ahmad. But if you want coaching, you can go to yasarahmad.com, or my new platform, which is all around behavioral science, AI, and live coaching, is ovdlab.com. And that's if you want to go a bit deeper and maybe you're looking for a quick change.
Amazing. Yasar, thank you so much for being on the show today. Congratulations on your success. I think you're doing a great job at helping people, become better leaders. So amazing work. And thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
The Darriel Roy Show is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts.